This week we've been talking about developing a peaceful life, and today I thought I should start with a recap of what we've covered so far. So on Monday we spoke about the three things that you need to recognize before you start your journey of developing a peaceful life. The first thing is that you need to recognize that it is possible for you to have a peaceful life. Number two, you need to recognize that it's not going to be easy. Number three, you need to recognize that you will need a lot of patience and kindness towards yourself, right? On Tuesday, we then spoke about the 3 steps that you can take to start your journey to a peaceful life. Number 1, we said identify the top 3 peace stealers that you have. Number 2, we said identify your physiological reactions in a situation where you know you're about to lose your peace. Number 3, once you know the top 3 peace stealers and your physiological reactions, then you put in the controls that will make sure that you react in a way that you would be proud of, or in a way that would keep your peace in a situation once you encounter it again, right? And then on Wednesday, we spoke about the 3 things that I have identified as the main peace stealers that we have: focus, meaning, and philosophy. You know, when you focus on everything that you don't have, you lose your peace. So change your focus. Focus on the things that you already have. Focus on the blessings that you have right now while still praying for what you're praying for. Meaning, what kind of meaning are you putting to people's behavior, actions, or words? Have you clarified that meaning with that person, or did you just decide on a meaning? Now you are angry, now you don't have peace because you believe somebody intended to say something or do something that they actually didn't, maybe. Or maybe they did, but have you clarified the meaning that you have kept towards what people said to you, what people did to you? What is your philosophy in life, right? What are your philosophies? Because for me, I realized that, I was dependent a lot, or my peace was dependent on what was going on the external environment. So I let the external environment determine whether I was going to have peace or not. I let people's words or behavior determine whether I would have peace that day or not. I would let my situation determine whether I would have peace in a certain season of my life or not. When I started changing that, when I realized that, I don't have to think all the thoughts that come into my mind. I don't have to let people's words bully me into a lack of peace, or into anger, or into worry and anxiety. When I started realizing that I have control over my peace, I can still keep my peace no matter the storm that I'm going through. That's when I started developing a peaceful life, because I started changing my philosophies. I started learning the fact that, other people's words can only hurt me, or can only make me angry if I allow those words to come inside of me. But I've got a right to reject other people's words so that I maintain my peace. So today I want to talk to you about how to develop peace or maintain peace in the storm that you're in right now. I am Pulaa Montz, your inner voice magnified. So, it is easy to have peace when everything is going well in your life. But the real tester of whether you've got, or the real tester, the real test of whether you have a peaceful life. Peace is a lifestyle to you, is seen in terms or in periods where you are experiencing turmoil, where there is storm. Right in the stack of everything, right in the middle of it, are you able to maintain your peace? So I've shared that in 2015-16, I was going through the most. I didn't have direction of my life. I didn't have a career. I was unemployed, rather. And I didn't have kids after many years in marriage, right? So when I changed my focus, that morning when I woke up and I reflected on the afternoon before, where I was crying, kneeling down by my coffee table and crying to the Lord and apologizing to God about, really being ungrateful for what He had done for me. When I reflected the next morning, and that's when I realized focus, meaning, and philosophy were my issues. When I started changing my focus, the meaning that I have, and my philosophy, a year later, I got a job. I was struggling with 3 things at the time. I didn't have a job. I had no direction for my life. I didn't have children. A year later, after changing my philosophy, after changing my focus into a gratitude focus, after changing the meaning towards what people do, a year later, I got a job. I was back in the corporate world and I was doing well. A year after getting a job in 2018, I finally found my purpose. And a year and 7 months after working, I decided to quit my job because the purpose that I was so desperate for, the direction that I had been looking for, I finally found. So I had no business being in the finance industry anymore. Because I finally knew what my body, what my system was designed to do. I finally found something that gave me peace in my spirit. So right now, I'm at peace. And not because everything is going well, not because life is good. I'm still praying for children. So how do I make sure that I keep and maintain my peace even while I'm still praying for kids after 8 years of marriage? For you, it might not be kids. It might be maybe finances. You have been working for the past 10 years, for the past 5 years, for the past 3 years, but you still don't see progress. You don't know where your money is going. You need a breakthrough in terms of your finances. It could be a career. You've been stagnant for the past 5 years in one position. You've been going to interviews in different companies. You need a change of environment, but it's just not happening for you. It could be that, for years you've been praying just for a stable relationship, not even marriage, just to have somebody who is stable in your life, but you keep being disappointed year after year, month after year. Whatever it is that you're going through right now, I'm saying it is possible to have peace while you don't have a solution to your problems. The one thing that I did in 2016 was, and I keep doing even today, feed on other people's stories. People who are going through the same thing, or people who went through the same things that I'm going through but have succeeded, right? Right now, I'm feeding on stories of women who talk about how it took time for them in their marriage to conceive, but now they've got kids, because other people's stories give you hope, give you faith, and give you the strength to keep believing in, even if your situation doesn't look like it will get better anytime soon. So you feed on other people's faith. Because, once a person has gone through what you're going through, they're able to tell you. For example, the things that I'm learning from other women is that you need to never give up on God. God is not a respecter of men. If you keep holding him to his promises, he will come through eventually. If you keep singing his praises all the time, even when you don't see how and when it will happen for you, but keep doing it, then eventually God will come through for you. When I hear such stories, it builds up my faith. Even when I'm about to lose my own faith, then I feed on these ladies' stories, right? I feed on their faith. I feed on their hope. Then eventually, what do you know? After listening to one or two stories, my faith is right back where it's supposed to be. I'm excited again for the day because I know any day it can happen for me too. The second thing that I do in order to maintain my peace in this storm of not having kids right now is that I don't surround myself with women who are struggling with the same situation that I'm struggling with. I've heard people saying misery loves company. So I believe that the more you say something, the more you think about something, the more you hear something, is the more you are building your reality. Everything that you keep feeding yourself is what you will eventually see in your reality. It is what you will experience as your reality. It is what is going to be your life in the near future, in future, right? So I don't believe in sitting down with other women who are going through infidelity in their marriages. Infertility, not infidelity. Infidelity, right, in their marriages. Oh, guys. We sit around and talk about how difficult it is, how we've lost hope. We don't all know how we're going to get ourselves out of the situation. I don't believe in such. I hang around women who have kids. I hang around women who just gave birth, because the more I see these little ones, the more I get excited, because I start believing that I am next in line, because I know God is not a respecter of men. So the more he keeps blessing women around me, I don't see it as God is spiting me. He's giving people what I'm praying for and I become jealous. No, I don't do that. The more I see God showing me women around me who are having kids, I see it as a sign from God saying, if I can do it for them, I will do it for you. Keep the faith. So what we do that still a peace is that every time you see somebody or people around you getting into marriages or getting stable relationships, or their finances are working well, or things are going well around them, when God shows you all of these things that he's doing for other people, then we start getting jealous. That's how we lose our peace. But in fact, when God shows you with the people who are close to you, when he keeps blessing them, when he keeps giving them what you are praying for, it's his own message. It is his message to you to say, keep the faith, your time is coming. So that's what I do. When I see women having babies, I celebrate with them. I enjoy these babies together with them, because I know that if he can do it for them, he'll do it for me. I'm next in line. And, the last thing that I do to maintain my peace even while going through whatever it is that I'm going through, is prayer. You know, I believe that there is only one Prince of Peace, and that is Jesus Christ of Nazareth. I'm extending him to you. Have him for yourself. Make prayer a significant part of your life, because that is where you can offload. You know, when there are no stories, when you don't have data to listen to other people's stories, maybe on YouTube, when your friends are not available to encourage you and give you hope, the one thing that you always have with you is the prayer of your heart. And you know, God listens to what we say in our hearts. Make sure that the prayer of your heart is celebration, is gratitude, thanking God for what he's about to do in your life. Make sure that your heart is not complaining. Pray about the things that you want to see. Stop praying about the things that you are seeing right now. Talk to God about what you want to see in your life. Change your prayer life to make sure that it aligns to what you want to see in your future. So those are the three things that I do every single day to maintain my peace. I listen to other people's stories of success in the area that I'm struggling in. I surround myself with people who are successful. And lastly, prayer is the center of everything that I do. And that is how I maintain a peaceful life. I am Pulaa Montz, your inner peace and purpose coach.